Thanks for coming on. I've been super excited. I feel like I also haven't seen you. I think the last time I saw you was with Colby, actually. I think it was after one of your sets at CMA Fest.
Yeah, it was probably like 6, 7 years ago.
That's wild. And then COVID happened,
That is crazy.
and then life just
Was
flipped
it
upside down.
was it Boots and Hearts or where were we? No, that was CMA
No,
Fest. So
it
you'd be
was
in Nashville.
CMA. It was in Nashville because I remember Colby was there because the season had ended. My dad was there, and your set was on Broadway.
Yes, it was probably at the Hard Rock stage over like actually on Broadway.
Yes, I think so. Yes. That's wild. I feel like your life has so much has happened since then, and same with mine. It's wild. But yeah, wanted to come on, kind of hear a little bit about your story, and just like share with listeners. Obviously, you're more talking about people's stories, getting to know you more than just a musician, kind of your upbringing, the behind the scenes and everything. So let's hear a little bit about your upbringing. I obviously know it, but love to hear more in details.
I just love the abouts. That's my new favorite thing with
I know. Abouts and A's.
Canadians.
I know. We're so kind. Hold on.
Yeah,
Chester's door.
so yeah, a little bit about me is I'm from
Chester,
Nashville,
the
Tennessee, born
dog,
and raised.
as you know.
My dad is a songwriter. He wrote songs like Blessed Broken Road, Cowboy Take Me Away, Born to Fly. My mom's a preacher. And so I grew up in a very interesting household, to say the least.
I
My
can
mom
imagine.
started an organization called Thistle Farms. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, and so I grew up with that and definitely get into that because that's a huge part of my life. But I grew up not really pursuing music as a profession, but went to college in Florida for 2 years and ended up getting my heart broken and ended up writing songs, which ended up having me move back to Nashville. And then I started pursuing music professionally. I ended up signing my first ever publishing deal with a guy named Desmond Child, who wrote Dude Looks Like a Lady, Living on a Prayer. He wrote Living the Vida Loca. And so I was just immediately surrounded by really incredible, talented people. Signed a Big Machine record deal right after that, and then eventually got dropped from that label. And so I spent about 7 years kind of finding myself as an independent artist, and just recently signed a new record deal with Kevin Jonas Sr., the dad of the Jonas Brothers, and their new label imprint here in Nashville. So we
So
are
exciting.
wheeling and
Congrats.
dealing, and it's, time flies, but it's been
Yeah,
crazy.
I bet. Did you find growing up with a dad who was a songwriter that you, like, obviously you didn't pursue music and you have two brothers too. Do you think because you saw the lifestyle, like, never interest you, or you're just kind of like doing my own thing? That's my dad at the end of the day. Remember we posted a TikTok and your dad's in the airport and you're like, no one knows that this guy wrote their favorite country music song because obviously to you he was just dad, but
Yeah.
so you never thought that this would kind of be your life route.
I think, like, at the end of the day when I was growing up, I thought of music as my dad's thing, and I
Hmm.
was like, I never want to do that just because it was my dad, and I thought my dad was not cool growing up. And then as I grew up, I realized how cool my dad was.
Hmm.
And then I also
Pretty cool guy.
realized, yeah, that's what I think. As I grew up, I was like, wow, I've been a rebel and like skating and like trying to be as cool as possible and not and like running away from this when it's right in front of me my whole life. And but you know, it was funny because I would listen to all these different types of music, and then like as a hobby when I was a kid, and then later in life when I pursued music, I realized that all of the stuff I was hearing from my dad and kind of all the things I was surrounded by in Nashville really affected me as a songwriter. And so I would be listening to all this crazy music like The Clash and Ramones and like anything that was just counterculture, and then I'll pick up a guitar and it would sound like the Rascal Flatts. And I realized like that relationship with my dad was what happened.
Hmm. It was like deeply rooted in you. You just didn't see it right at the time.
Exactly, it was in my genes.
Do you think so? You moved back from Florida in Nashville. Obviously, you signed a big deal, but do you remember, was it signing the deal? Was it hearing your song on the radio for the first time? Like, what was the moment that it was like almost like I made it? Like, this is so
Right.
cool.
I'm still waiting for the I made it moment. But I will
You're a pretty
say,
big
like,
deal.
signing deals and stuff like that was like really fun, especially at a young age, like 22 years old, and signing a Big Machine was crazy. I think the thing that made me feel like I'm doing this and I'm professional and this is my job and this is like I'm a real musician was one, getting to make my debut at the Opry. was incredible, and getting to bring my dad up on the Opry stage and sing Blessed Broken Road with him. But two was going out on the road and touring and really making a name for myself where, outside of the Nashville circle, a lot of people did not know who my dad was. And being able to kind of create my own fan base and create my own image was huge for me.
Do you have any favorite moments on tour, or if anyone you were with or something that, yeah, memory, it could be pro and con, like a funny story or something that you're like, this is tour life that no one would expect?
Well, honestly, I have a million favorite memories on tour, but one of my favorite memories was playing Boots and Hearts because I remember Canada.
Canada.
You Canadians are crazy, and it was such a fun show. And it was like me and Morgan Wallen on the same day. It was like before Morgan like popped off, and so I remember playing the show, and it was packed in this little off stage. Like, it wasn't the main stage; it was a side stage. But it was me and then Morgan, and it's wild to see somebody go from like one of those side stages where there's just like 1,000 people to like stadiums. And I remember thinking, I was like, this guy is like legit. Holy crap! Holy crap!
You're like, he's gonna be amazing. What
Yeah.
did you like eat anything cool in Canada? Was there anything that was like super Canadian?
Did I eat anything cool?
Like
I
cool.
drank a lot of cool stuff.
Oh yeah, how was the Canadian beer?
All I remember, what I remember from that was there was the two Clydesdales from Budweiser were at the festival, and I drank
Okay.
Budweiser, so that wasn't very Canadian.
Okay. Okay, dang it. I thought that there would be a little bit more there.
I don't really, actually, here's a good memory from Canada. I just thought of one. I got to play a show with Dean Brody and Jessica Mitchell in Toronto, which was super fun. But what we ate that night, I remember, was we ate like a curry or something like that.
Okay. So not really Canadian, but that is a cool moment singing with
Yeah,
them.
it was fantastic.
That's awesome. Obviously you have so many songs out there. Which one was your favorite to write, and which one was maybe your hardest to write?
The hardest to write. Well, I'll start with my favorite. When I wrote "Paying For It" with Walker Hayes, and like just that day alone was so exciting because was so excited to write with Walker. I had been preparing this idea of a song called "Paying For It," and in my mind, like "Paying For It" was this sad song about this like guy who's still literally paying for it. Like, he's still broken up over this person. But Walker heard it and he thought of it as a funny song, like a funny kind of breakup song, but it was like lighthearted. And so when we collaborated and got to write that day, I mean, that was one of my favorite writes ever. And putting out the song, getting Walker Hayes to feature on it was incredible. And the whole journey of that, because Fancy Like for Walker was popping off while we were putting out that song, was just wild. One of the hardest songs I ever had to write. Well, I wrote a song for Steven Tyler that was really hard to write because we had written the song and then Steven Tyler wanted to come in and adjust it to make it more Steven Tyler-y. And so that was a very interesting experience.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like that's hard when you like pour your like heart and soul into that and then someone doesn't see eye to eye. That sucks.
Well, it was also like it was actually it was a fantastic experience. It was life-changing because Steven Tyler and Aerosmith is one of my favorite bands and singers growing up. But what was hard about it was the process of making it all come together and turn into a country song.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Okay. Speaking of favorite songs, I really wanted to talk to you about this. You have a song called Love Heals. And I know that there is a big meaning behind it and is kind of a part of how you grew up and who you are today. So kind of want to deep dive into that a little bit more.
Wow. Yes, that was actually like, in terms of hard is not the word, but it was like in a song that kind of needed to be written for me. So my mom started an organization, like we said earlier, called Thistle Farms. It's a place where women with a history of drug abuse, prostitution, and sex trafficking go for 2 years of sobriety and free living. And then Thistle Farms also employs these women where they make healing bath and body care products and also candles and all this amazing stuff. But my mom is a CNN Hero of the Year. She's Tennessean of the Year 3 years, and she's just an incredible woman. And so one of her books that she released was called Love Heals. And I remember I was playing a show with my dad, and it was like actually a benefit for Thistle Farms. And somebody looked at us and said, "Have you like written a song called Love Heals?" And I looked at my dad. I was like, "Why have we not written that song yet? Like, what are we doing?" And we ended up writing the song with Tom Douglas, who wrote House That Built Me and a bunch of other amazing songs. And the song itself was really powerful. And we were able to feature Alison Krauss on the song, which was exponentially more amazing. And the whole experience was incredible because I feel like it was a gift that I could give to my mom for all the belief she poured in me, and return the favor with music.
Is there any way for any of these listeners that are now hearing about this to be able to support or give back as well?
Yeah, I mean, Thistle Farms is incredible. There's a website, there's a storefront in Nashville. A big part of what Thistle Farms does is they make products that you guys can buy and support, but also just kind of being aware that it's there in the world, and just looking it up on the internet and seeing if you're interested of like in the actual mission is always important.
That's amazing. So here's a big one. Are you writing a song for your upcoming wedding?
I I have a million songs
Or
for
is that
Kirsten.
like top secret?
No, I have a song in my back pocket that I really love, and I know it's kind of written about this moment and this person, obviously,
Okay.
Kirsten. And
Way to go,
so we
Kirsten.
are Kirsten, yeah. It's like a Kear.
Way to go. Way to go, Kirsten. You got a catch.
Yeah. Shit. I got a catch. I don't know what she got.
Yeah, she's the catch, actually.
Yeah. She's a catch. I don't know what I did to earn that. But we are so excited. We're getting married down in Florida. And so, I probably do need to actually write a song that's fully about this. You gotta wait for my dogs to also bark.
I was like,
Chester.
please hold.
I have I have
Chester.
3 dogs? I have 3 dogs and an English Mastiff, so when they start barking, it sounds like the world is ending. I don't even know how to say this. So yeah. Well, I'll tell you after this thing is recording. But I think sometimes like, I mean, my one Tim McGraw song that I had recorded, I legitimately had the first verse and chorus. It like fell into my lap. I don't even know how to describe it. I was driving down towards the right, like we were going to the studio, and it was just me in the car, and the lyric, like this lyric appeared in my head. I'm not kidding. It was crazy. It was, I'm more mountains and rivers than ocean and waves. I'm more moonshine and whiskey than vineyards and grapes. I'm not from California. I'm from somewhere you ain't anymore. And I like literally was just like, blah. And like to the point of I called my dad and I was like, hey, I have this idea. Like, what do I do with this? And he's like, write it with these people and send it to Tim. And so we did, and got recorded by him.
Oh my gosh, no worries. Okay, yeah, I'll stop back to it. Talking about songs that you've written, how long does it normally, like, what's a song process writing to take? Do you lock yourself in a room and get pen to the paper for days? Or how does that process work for you?
Well, in Nashville, like writing songs is a job. And usually we write between the hours of 11 and 2:33. And I feel like this could be a bad thing too. I'm a pretty quick writer. Like I always, if I feel like I'm struggling to write the song, it almost never is good. And that's not even a statement against like the writers I'm with. Just sometimes it's hard to be inspired.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes the best songs, especially in my life, have been the songs that are just the easiest and that just kind of fall out. And I've always talked to my dad about this, and we've had deep conversations about this because he's a lifelong professional songwriter. Is sometimes like inspiration and music and creativity is a spiritual experience, even if it's like a dumb country song. Like it can come into your heart and it kind of arrives in your soul, and you just have to write it.
Do you think, what was one of the songs you got the most like emotional writing? Like, do you get emotional when you're writing, or does a lyric come right across and you're like, that's it, that's like the course right there?
I definitely get like especially if I'm writing about Kirsten, I feel like definitely like emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And if I write about my family, but it's not like a I'm gonna cry emotion. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like
You can
it
feel
feels
it
like
in
a
your
choked up.
soul. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
You're
a
like,
choked up feeling, butterfly feeling. And I think the more exciting feeling for me is like when I want to show them the song and I want to get their reaction. And if they hate it, then it just also in an emotion way it hurts my feelings.
I feel like I've seen some of those videos when you've been in the car, either like with your family and you've been like, okay, I wrote this song, and you're like recording to like see their reaction.
See, I try to do it and be like legit. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people kind of like tease it up, and I've done that also. But I try my best to like actually show somebody the song for the first time. And I've had some negative responses from my dad, where he's just like,
Really?
"This is crap."
That's amazing. That's what you should be posting. You should be
No, I
posting his reaction to that.
then I'm like, did I ask you? Like,
You're like, okay, Dad, we know that you're the top, but like, I'm trying here.
that is the story of my life.
This dog. I'm gonna have to lock him up once again. Chester,
Take your time.
you're gonna have to be.
This is usually my thing. We got 3 dogs, and one is an English Mastiff that, like I said, if she starts barking, it sounds like the whole house is falling down. Yep. There's Spark.
Just joining the podcast. This dog's needy. Speaking of dogs, how are your dogs?
They are amazing. I was just telling your buddy that we have an English Mastiff named Petunia, and she is quite literally, she has to be at least 200 pounds right now. And she's a year and a half, turning 2 years old this year. She's a big old girl.
Is that how big they're normally supposed to be?
They can be anywhere between like 160 and 250. So they're like the biggest breed of dog on earth. Like, they're huge.
What made you want that breed of a dog?
We were living in a different house, and it was just like a little bit sketchy. And so when I was about to go on tour, I told Kirsten, like, I want to get you a guard dog. Like, let's get a guard dog. And I remember we were at a bar the night before I went on tour, and we ended up taking these things called Dickleback shots, which is George Dickel and pickle juice. Took 2 of those shots, and I think we drunkenly decided to purchase Petunia. And best drunk purchase of my life. Like, she's my entire heart, my love. But so we brought her into the house, and she was like just a baby, like this big, but quickly just like doubling in size every week. And she outgrew our house, like to the point where she like would just turn and knock everything over, or like barrel through a door. And she's a big baby, so it was like, we have to get a new house.
Does she sleep in the bed with you guys?
We cuddle so hard. It is like, I can't move her out of the bed, so she kind of like just gets to do whatever she wants. But she's my cuddle buddy for sure.
That's so funny. I have like I don't know if this is whatever, I'm just gonna say it. With my pickle juice shot story, I have like never had one since. It was St. Patrick's Day, ironically, and we were playing in Edmonton. The Oilers were on the road, and us girls went out to the bar. And I'd never had one before, and I have this video, and I like take it, and I like kind of like burp it back up a bit. Like, it was like, I was like, oh, that's so gross. And then like I went about my day, 2 days, I think it was like 3 days later. And then it was my bachelorette, like not that long later. So I go in and get my nails done. And I had puked a little bit in my engagement ring, and it was stuck in my engagement ring. And the lady doing my nails was like, Miss, I think there's something in your ring. And it was literally like puke. It was like, I was so mortified when I told Colby. I was like, I can never take one of those again.
I'm trying to think of the physics of how that happens.
I don't know.
How does it get stuck in the ring?
I don't know, but it was bad. So me and pickle juice shots, I understand the impulse buy, because it made me puke in a ring and I didn't even know it.
Yeah. Pickle juice will also has electrolytes in it, so you'll be less hungover.
Oh, it's amazing the next day.
Facts.
But dangerous for the day of drinking.
It is dangerous. I will say, we loved those. The Dickleback shots are like our favorite thing for like 2 weeks, and then we had to stop.
Okay. Do you have, when you're on tour or before a show, do you have like a drink or a shot that you like to take, or a routine of the day you're gonna like, you know how athletes have like a game day routine? Do you have a kind of routine like that?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably bad to say, but I like to have like a beer or something, especially if I'm at like a club, because it just like loosens me up. But my dad, like, not to keep talking about my dad, but he's like my creative best friend, and we do everything together pretty much. So like, he told me from like a very young age, like at like 19 years old, he's like, if you're gonna drink before you play, never have more than 3 drinks. He's like, from experience, you will regret it for the rest of your life. And obviously, I've toured for over a decade, so there's been many times where I've accidentally partook the night before, and definitely agree. But I think like 1 beer before I go on stage is always kind of the go-to for me.
I feel like you usually have a beer on stage, don't you? Too? I feel like
I usually do, but like I have it up there as like walk up, and then I put it down, and then I forget about it.
Yeah. Then it gets
or
like
I kick
warm,
it over,
and then it's gross. Yeah, or you can kick it over. That's
usually
true.
I kick it over. I'm not even friend. Like, I think I kick every single beer of mine over.
Is it for like dramatic effects, or is it for like
no,
you're just not paying attention?
Generally, it's like right there, and I just.
Okay. Who is the favorite person, or who is your favorite person that you toured with?
Who's my favorite? Well, we just did the Walker Hayes tour, same drunk tour
Mhm.
last year, and got to go sing with him every night on that tour, and it was incredible. Like, he's such a nice guy, and his family's amazing. His entire crew is amazing. So I'd say, based on just the fact that it was last year, Walker.
Okay, I could see that. I feel like it's incredible. I also love seeing everyone do your guys' dance to that song online. I feel like it just went viral, like you said.
I have forgotten it. Everybody out there in the world, don't remember how to do it anymore.
You don't?
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I remember like this part and
Who
but then I
who
can't remember after that.
who like choreographed that?
Walker's daughter, Leela.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't you out there trying to choreograph
No,
it.
I had never done a dance before, like at all. Like I've been at the club,
Yeah.
but I've never been like learned to dance before. So I remember the second she like put it out there, it was so complicated for me, like because I have never done a dance. I had to like learn how to do like dance countings. I was like 5, 6, 7, 8. First, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and I was like learning the whole thing, and it was actually like really complicated. It was
Especially
really
if
hard for me to learn.
you're basically like your own musical, like singing, playing, dancing. You're like a one
Yeah,
man show.
I'm like Justin Bieber. That's basically what I think about.
Okay, for those people that haven't been to Nashville, what is your favorite bar to play at and what's your favorite bar to go to?
If I'm gonna play at a bar, I mean, honestly, Emily, I don't really go out anymore.
I feel like we're
I
old now. Back in our
it's okay.
time when we met, we probably would have been having pickle juice shots at the bar till 2
I know.
a.m. And now we're like grandparents old.
We did. What was it? Oh my gosh. We went to This is MMA, but an armor MMA, like people in actual like armor
Okay.
MMA on Saturday. I had like 3 drinks and I was like dead on Sunday. And after that, I looked at Kirsten. I was like, "Is something wrong with me?" Like full on. Like I used to actually be able to drink.
That's why your dad said only
I
three
know.
drinks before
As you
you.
get older, that's so true. Favorite bar to go to? If I'm going to a bar, I don't even want to ruin it because it's like kind of a local hang.
Mm,
I'll just say it, but so there's a place called the Villager in Hillsborough Village, and it's just like a
okay.
darts bar, little dive bar, and it's my absolute favorite bar right now.
Okay.
Not for music or anything, just because I'm from Nashville, born and raised, and so I like to go down the street and play.
Yeah.
If I'm performing at a bar, Old Red downtown is actually probably the best sound system in Nashville. Currently, my favorite place to play.
Okay. I feel like, yeah, I've been to Old Red. I haven't been to that one. I thought you were gonna say winners and losers, but I feel like that's like not as local anymore. I feel like
It's
everyone's
also
finding
yeah,
you better with
it's
that.
I have not been to Midtown in
A long time.
10 years. I don't know.
Wow,
No,
you really are old.
it's been like a couple weeks, honestly. But I haven't been out drinking in Midtown since like 2020.
Okay. I feel like I was just in Nashville for my bachelorette and Jason Aldean got me pretty good. That bar's the rooftop and everything. It's a good setup.
Yeah,
But it was fun.
it can be bad there.
Yeah, seriously.
Good bad.
Back to before Chester started barking, the wedding. I love your little TikToks asking how many more days. You're like such an excited fiance. How's the planning? How's it all going?
It's good. Like I said, I think we're at the very tail end. I think we blinked and it was like went from 500 days to 90 days, and
Mm-hmm.
but luckily we're both like I feel like very chill. So we knew Kirsten said she was like, "I'll marry you anywhere." And so I said, "I want to get married on the beach." And so we met there. We're going to the beach and we're really excited. Like Florida's like a big part of my life because I went to school in Florida for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
but also whenever I've kind of had like moments of just I need to get out of Nashville, I always have gone back to St. Pete and down to the Keys and just kind of like that's my like safe place.
I
And
love it.
so I'm really excited to just kind of go down there and just have like a vacation and then a wedding in the middle of the vacation.
That's amazing. And I can't believe I didn't ask you this. How did you meet your wife or future wife?
We had a bunch of mutual friends, but to be honest, I slid up in her DMs. That was kind of our
The DMs.
millennial love story.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel like everything now is DMs, dating apps. I feel like you don't have the like old like meet at a bar or like a cafe.
Yeah. Meeting in the wild is hard. But I think like once you kind of like, I knew that I would never really get to spend time or meet Kirsten unless I hit her up. So that was the
Because she's
journey.
not from Nashville originally, right? Or is she?
She's from like Madison, Wisconsin, and kind of
Okay.
Indiana originally, but
Okay. Nice.
yeah, so she was living here in town. We had mutual friends like everybody in Nashville because it's a small town.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big small town, but we had never really actually met. So I was like, "Do you want to go out?" And then I accidentally couldn't make it twice. She's gonna run in here and be like, but the third time I finally got to take her out, and I got her cheese curds, and it was true love.
I don't think I've ever had a cheese curd, but I do love that. What a patient. She is such a catch. Third time, Levi, what were the two other excuses before?
One excuse was CMA Fest. I had to go
Okay,
do the
that's
Bush
valid.
Light stage.
I have
And
seen you
so
at CMA Fest. That is valid.
so I had to go. It's hard once you're in CMA Fest. It's like hard. It's like get out of there. And also we ended up like going to the actual the like Nissan Stadium that night. So I didn't have time. And then the other time I can't remember. She definitely shouldn't have ever responded.
What a catch. Good for you. I'm so excited for you. Are your brothers your groomsmen?
They are. We have currently 9 groomsmen, but 2 people might not be able to make it. There would be on the exact same opposite side. So
Okay.
we'll probably have eight groomsmen and bridesmaids, so 16. But 2 of them are my brothers, yes. And then my middle brother, got married last year. So I'm the second Hummon brother to get married.
Okay. Wow. She snatched, yeah. What would you say to a fiance in the wedding planning support? What would you tell them? Buckle up,
I would
grab the
say,
tissues, grab
I
a
don't know.
beer.
I think there's a few things that I would get, like, if I was telling a man, one, I'm blessed with like the easiest person to plan a wedding with ever. So I don't know, like I know I've seen the different sides of how intense it can be, but I think for me and like our journey, it's so important for it to be fun. And the second that it's not fun to plan that part of the wedding, it's like take moments to talk to each other and be like, why is this not fun?
Yeah.
This is like supposed to, like, it's not, it's obviously worth it to do whatever, but like finding ways how to make everything fun. And then also as the man or just the significant other of the person that's very passionate about planning it, is if you're not willing to die on the hill, then don't die on the hill. Like just kind of go with the flow and be a supporter and be your person's best friend.
That's great advice. You should write a song about that.
Just say yeah.
Yeah, how fast can you write those lyrics?
As long as I got the beach, I was like, I don't give a shit about anything else. You do you, as long as I'm on the beach.
Beer, beach, you're good to go.
Yeah,
Some
those are my 2
your
stipulations.
pickleback shots and you're fine.
We do. That's actually true. We should get pickleback. So
That should
why
be
have we
your
not thought about that?
signature drink.
Our signature drink.
Is it whiskey?
Kirsten loves what do they call it? Espresso martinis.
Does she like them? Does she like them strong espresso or more creamy, like with Bailey's in it?
I think, from my experience, I think she likes them more creamy.
That's my girl.
I drink my coffee black, so.
Okay, yeah, I definitely like them more creamy for sure. Atta girl. Okay, what would you tell young, inspiring writers, or what would you tell your younger self, really?
Yeah, I mean, I actually work with a lot of young artists, just as like a passion of mine is helping other people out. And what I always tell them is just be creative. Like the first thing I always tell everybody is, even if it's bad, write a song by yourself. Learn how you speak and what you want to say, even if it's crap. Just experience like sitting in a room alone and write, because a lot of people just like will not do that. And it's so important to sit with a guitar, learn about who you are as a person, and allow that to either inspire writes that are collaborative with other writers in the future, or let it inspire you as a person to bring ideas into the world. And so I always say be creative is so important. And that's what I tell myself too. It's when everything in the world like is so many no's in this business and music, where it's like people just dragging you down, people wanting you to fail, people just like not believing in you. And if I always tell myself, if I can sing a song and write a song by myself, then I'll always be good. Like I don't need a lot of people to say yes to me or say I'll believe in you if I can sit with a guitar and just like be inspired. So that's probably my biggest piece of advice to myself and to other artists.
Do you think, looking back, do you think you would do anything differently? Or are you a firm believer in you're so lucky that the way that it's played out?
I think like as an artist and just like a creator, I think life on my end right now is just really good, and so I'm really grateful. And I don't know, like, if I was exponentially more successful at this time in my life, or I was less successful at this point in my life, or I didn't sign this deal, or I did sign this deal, would I still be here? And honestly, I'm just grateful for where I am. So that's kind of like, would I change anything? No, because I get to be here.
I feel like that's such a good I feel like that's such a good reminder. I feel like people are always like the grass is greener on the other side, or had I changed, or had I done this. You can like always think that way, but it's like about being like content and being like, I am so happy to be here, and like, yeah, grateful for how everything's played out.
Absolutely. And I think, like, obviously there's points in my life where I've been down, and like, and even like I know there's gonna be future things, but it's just so important, like, to use that, especially in the creative space, as fuel. And that's how I've always internalized everything. It's just always been fuel.
That's a great, it gives you a purpose. It's like pain in your purpose, really.
Absolutely.
Pain in your purpose. I see a bunch of guitars behind you. Which one would be your favorite? And when did you get your first guitar? Do you still have that?
Well, I have, this is my favorite right now because I just play it all the time. This is an old Martin, but my first like actual amazing guitar that I got was my high school graduation present from my dad, that sat in my dorm for 2 years, not played at all, and then I got broken up with in Florida and ended up picking it up and wrote my first like 200 songs on it. And that's just like a little crappy guitar, but I love it.
I feel like if you're that girl, that's hard. That's hard to hear the songs. Do you ever feel like do you ever struggle with like writing songs and people's like judgment, whether it's fans or whatever? Or are you like very, it is what it is?
I don't think about anything like that. I do think this sometimes, like, uh a funny thing that happened with me and Kirsten was, like, I write really good breakup songs. Like, that's, even if I'm in a really happy relationship, I'm just constantly writing
Hopefully
breakup
you don't
songs.
get write good
And
divorce songs.
actually, those make a lot of money though. So uh
Actually? Actually,
like,
probably.
now I have that song "Good Riddance to the Past," and everybody's
Yes.
like, "Send it to my ex-husband," and like burning wedding dresses and crap. So that's always funny. But I remember playing Kirsten a bunch of my new songs, and they're all like up tempo, fun breakup songs. And she's like, "You realize you're not in a breakup right now?" And I was like, "You're right." So now I've spent my last like year working on like being able to write kind of up tempo, fun love songs and kind of be
Transition.
more in the spirit of the moment.
Yes. Transition. You should write a song about wedding planning. Don't die on the hill if you don't want to die on the hill.
Going down the hill.
That's amazing. What was my other question? I forgot. Oh, I forgot. I had it. I just blanked.
Well, more importantly, how are you these days?
That's a loaded question. Yeah, we can talk about that until my question comes back to me. Good. I feel like you have known me through a lot. Like pre-Colby, Colby, post-Colby, grief, now Colin. I will tell you this, there is not enough country songs, because country is obviously my favorite genre other than Christian, about widowhood. So you could write on that. You could write a song on that. I'm giving you inspiration. I feel like there's only a handful. And that's one thing that I leaned into a lot during my grief is
Mm.
a lot of music. I feel like music gives people like a voice that when they feel like they don't have a voice or makes them feel seen. But there is definitely not a lot of country songs about widowhood. So that
Yeah,
could be not that don't want to wish that bad luck on you, because we don't want to write about
right.
breakup songs or divorce or anything. But I do think it's been hard. I think, as you know, like the public eye isn't always graceful. The way that like Colby passed away was very traumatic, very sudden. I mean, you saw him, he was a happy, healthy guy, totally normal. Definitely been like in a journey remarrying again and balancing both. I'll always love Colby and I'll always miss Colby. Kind of like my heart is with two now. And that doesn't take away one either from
Yeah,
Colin or Colby. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't wish young widowhood on anyone. But we are slowly figuring it out. It's a journey, and yeah, that's the way I kind of look at it. But there's definitely good days, definitely bad days. I can't believe it's like been 5 years, to be honest, or almost 5 years. I feel like April 2020 just feels like so long ago. And I think it was hard with COVID because I couldn't see a lot of people and the world shut down. So actually next week I'm flying back to one of the rinks that he played in, one of the city, actually the last city we were in right before he died, for the first time in 5 years. So that
Wow.
it's kind of weird having those first so delayed. Because normally you have that right away. So yeah, it'll be my first time going back to the rink. They have his glove in the rink and a memorial, so I'll see all that. But yeah, I feel like it's life and it's a journey, but we're getting there. We're trying the best we
Well,
can.
you're obviously incredibly strong, and so I'm proud of you for getting through it. And that's just a crazy, horrible thing that nobody should ever go through. But you are definitely an example of how to do it. So it's been inspiring to watch you.
Yeah. I definitely remember there was like some days right after you passed away, I think you were checking in. I think the whole world was kind of checking in, and I think I was pretty numb, but we're getting there and we're figuring it all out. But yeah, I
Absolutely.
love watching your journey from the distance too, and rooting you on for your upcoming wedding. Hopefully not too many pickleback shots. Or maybe that would be a good idea.
That'll be the day after.
Yeah, that will be like your hangover. Your, what is it? Hair of the dog?
Hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog. That's awesome. But yeah, other than that, I'm just so happy to catch up and
Absolutely.
hear what's happening on life and everything. But yeah, thanks for coming on.
Any other questions for me?
Ooh. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, just let me know, however, like when this comes out, what I can do social media wise to help you support it, because this is awesome and I want to help your podcast and anything I can do.
Well, thank you.
And then when you're back in Nashville, we got to get drinks,
Not
do a little double date.
Yes. Definitely got to do a double date. I almost wore my cowboy boots for this episode, even though you wouldn't have seen them.
You have to, what? What are we doing here?
I know. I'm sorry I failed you. Well, thank you so much. And yeah, excited to see all the wedding photos soon.
3 months or less.
Love it.